This is where the light is. Jumbo. Sorry, we've been having a slow network connection. Now, today we are very excited to because it's our literacy campaign month. Our kids have closed. Now we have them all to ourselves. So today I caught up with a beautiful girl who is very instrumental in this reading and comprehension. Next week we're going to have a reading camp with our kids, and we hope you'll be there. She will be there. We'll get a teacher who will take us through, and we'll see how much our kids can read. And remember, we have always been saying words are like people. The more you meet, the more you know, and the more you meet, the more confident you get. And this is a very good thing for us, because for our children, we would like them to be confident by the time they're sitting for their national exams, because in this country the mode of instruction and communication is mostly in English and Swahili. So welcome, and I would like you to meet this girl here. I'll just turn the camera. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Tell us your name.
My name is Nancy Tanwi.
Tell us about yourself, Nancy.
Okay, I'm a teacher by profession. I teach Swahili in Kenyan high school. That is between age 13 to 17, thereabout.
Nancy also doubles up as Russ's and Paul's teacher when they're here. She teaches them a bit of Swahili. All right, Nancy, what do you have family?
Yes, I have a family. I have two brothers, my dad and my mom.
Their names, please, Nancy.
Ken is our big brother. Job is our small brother. I'm a second born in a family of 3.
All right, and boyfriend?
Yes, I'm engaged.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
When is the wedding?
Coming soon, next year maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Nancy, a popular study revealed that a grade 2 student in a Kenyan public school cannot construct a sentence in either English or Swahili. Why do you think this is the case?
In Kenya, reading culture is no longer there. So we don't have people who encourage children to read from the youngest levels of education, and this carries on to high school and even to the university. You can meet someone who has graduated but they cannot fluently speak in English or Swahili, and so I think the better part of this is because of the reading culture.
And why do you think it is important for these kids to be able to communicate when they leave school?
Communication is everything, according to me. If you need anything, you have to communicate. You have to have the language to express yourself. Another thing, for you to pass your exams, language of instruction in Kenya, all the subjects is English, and then we have Swahili as one of the subjects. So it's important for them to know how to express themselves. It's important for them. It gives them confidence.
All right.
Yeah.
Ras says habari, and Paul waves at you.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Russell. Zuri sana.
Okay. What do you think we need to improve the literacy levels in our schools, and what age is good for these kids to start learning or reading?
I think the children should be encouraged to read from a very young age. Maybe at the age of 2, we should encourage them to read very simple grammar, and that builds their reading culture.
Okay. Now, one of the Millennium Development Goals by the UN is to achieve universal primary education. Okay?
Yes.
Do you think we are on track as a country? And how can we get help? What do we need to do so that we can get on track if we are not on it?
I think we are on track because we have the free primary education now, and maybe just to encourage more children in the rural areas. There are other places in this country where children are not going to school even now, when we have free primary education. More campaigns should be done, and maybe those who have come from those areas and have gone out can go back, give back to their communities.
All right. Ras is asking, do Kenyan students prefer Swahili or English? Which language is easiest for them to learn?
Kenyan students prefer English. One is because of English is loved in urban areas, and Swahili is a bit difficult. But then I think if they get exposed to more materials, they would prefer Swahili to English. The challenge that we have right now, we don't have much of Swahili written work, and so even right now, anyone who is doing a further study in Swahili has to read English books and translate them to Swahili. So that's our challenge.
Oh no! What are you doing here, Nancy?
I am doing a master's of Kiswahili.
Wow! So I hope you'll write many Swahili books so that our kids can have access.
Sure.
Okay. Typically, how many students are there in a classroom in Kenya?
It depends on what kind of a school. We have the public schools and the private schools. In a Kenyan public school right now, we can have between 60 and even 80 students in one class.
Yeah, so that is 80 students to one teacher.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. Now, is there any word of advice you can give us about reading?
Let it begin from us. Let us read as much as you can. Let us find as many materials. Read anything that you can.
All right, Nancy. Now, who is your greatest cheerleader? Who inspires you?
Wow. My professor, Iribe Mwangi, inspires me a lot. He's a professor in the field of linguistics, and that's the field that I would want to explore more, but then in Swahili. So I have a challenge that I would get to read English books, but then translate them to Swahili. That gives me an advantage of, after I get through with my master's, I would be able to teach linguistics in English and linguistics in Swahili.
So would you come back to Nandi and give back?
Yes, why not?
All right.
Yeah.
And thank you for being our chief campaigner in the literacy campaign.
You're welcome.
Paul is asking, is it easy to get a job if a student graduates from university?
Not really.
Yeah. Why so?
It takes a lot of time to get a job in this country. One is because what can I say about that? Maybe we have a lot of fresh graduates, and what is precious to most employers in this country is experience. And so if you're fresh from campus, then you have to maybe volunteer for quite some time before you get a good job.
Yeah, and there you go, experience and confidence. And confidence also comes from mastery of language, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. You can teach us a few Swahili words, maybe?
Okay. Of course, you know the greetings. If you want to tell someone to work hard in terms of education, you can tell them Soma kwa bidii.
Soma kwa bidii. Okay.
Yeah.
Paul is asking, do a lot of children have to miss school to have with family duties?
Yeah, a lot of them in the rural areas, of course. We still have those places in this country that people don't value education, and so most children are still out of school for family duties.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
And thank you for this interview.
Thank you too.
All right. So there you have it. Nancy has already told us that education is the key in this country, and for us, we believe if you are confident enough, if you read, you'll be confident, you'll have mastery of language, and even getting these jobs will not be a problem. So I'll leave you with a parting shot that says, a child who reads will be an adult who thinks. So we want to bring up adults who are going to be thinkers. Thank you for watching and see you next week at our library in Nandi. Bye.